This is Talking Saints, the official St. Patrick's Athletic podcast here at Richmond Park with John Mountney, who has settled in well to life as a Super Saint with 10 points from our first 12 games. And John, when we announced you, you spoke about your hopes and ambitions for your signing for the club, and it's been a decent start.
Yeah, I think it's been a good start for us, Jamie. You know, we've hit the ground running. We had a good pre-season, and I think that could tell, you know, our intent from the first game away to Shamrock Rovers. You know, we pressed all over the pitch, and then you know, on the ball we've been good as well. And you know, 10 points out of 4 has been a decent enough start. But you know, we know it's a long season too, so you know, we'll take it week by week.
On the pitch, the opening night against Shamrock Rovers, the OG from Roberto Lopez from the Robbie Benson cross, and then Aaron Green equalises in the last minute, and then 3 wins to home win here against Drogheda, a last minute goal, and then the win at Dalymount against Bohemians, and then the most recent one against Derry City 2-0. How would you reflect on the stuff on the pitch?
Yeah, it's you know, it's been good because it was always a good sign coming away from Talan. We were disappointed we didn't get the 3 points. And then, you know, our first home game, we wanted to hit the ground running and get our first win, and it was a tough game here against Drogheda, but we showed our resilience and went and got the winning goal late in the game, and you know, going away to Bows and getting a result. And then of course last night against Derry was a different type of game when they had a man sent off, and we had to break them down. But you know, I think we've shown different sides of us, what we're about, and you know, it's been positive so far.
The vibe in the group, John, seems really, really good, and that's an obvious thing to say when the results have been good. But even I've been lucky enough to be at, you know, one training session a week as the part of the social media role, and at all the pre-season games and the competitive games. I'm sure you can sense that in the group. It just seems to be a happy place to be at the moment.
Exactly. It's a good group of lads, like you said. Everyone gets on, staff, players, everything. There's a good togetherness about us, and you know, everyone works hard for the team, which is really important. You know, but like we touched on, we're only 4 games in. It's a long season. You know, it's week by week in this league, and you get no easy games, so you can't get complacent. And it's no different now. Next week, going up to Oriel Park, you know, we'll be looking to keep our good form going.
And just on that, on you know, how well the group has gelled in an era when you guys can't have a team night out, you can't have a pre-season camp, you can't go to the gym as a group. You know, there are so many things that you would think would work against that, and everything has to be outdoors, but yet still there does seem to be a real good connection, and there is, you know, 8 or 9 new signings and a number of academy lads who've come into the team or into the squad, and then 5, 6, 7 lads who've been here, and it all seemed to have gelled quite well.
Yeah, and it's a massive side of it. You know, it's picking a squad and putting a team together. You know, there has to be, I suppose, that togetherness, and you know, the young lads that are coming through aren't just good talented footballers, they've all got good attitudes. And then, you know, the lads that are already here, the senior lads at Pats are all good people, as well as the players, the managers brought in, you know. So everyone gets on with each other on and off the pitch, like you said, which is a big part in it.
I don't think anyone has enjoyed playing behind closed doors, but I found a couple of things interesting. One of them is that you can hear every word on the pitch, and having watched you as a Dundalk player over the years when you were playing in front of big crowds, you never really heard everything, but the information that you're giving to your teammates, the younger players, the experienced players, the words you're having with the ref, the little bit of back and forth sometimes with opposition players, I found that quite interesting, and really seeing what a leader you are on the pitch, and it's just been interesting for me to hear that. How have you found your role in the team since you've joined from that sense, and obviously performances as well?
Yeah, well, it was a different role for me coming in here. You know, I'm 28 now, so I'm a senior player, so it was to help out, as well as you know, on the pitch, being vocally involved and be part of it all. So you know, it's a good and a bad thing hearing players on the pitch. You know, it's not all good things you hear when you're talking to a ref or talking to players, but no, there's like we touched on, there's a good group here, and there's loads of leaders in different ways, not just on the pitch, off the pitch, and leading by example. You know, and we have plenty of that here so far, I've seen.
When you signed, from talking to Alan Matthews, the manager, and Stephen O'Donnell, the head coach, they were talking about your versatility. You've played all 4 games at right back. There's been 2 clean sheets in those games. You've had a 19-year-old goalkeeper behind you in Vich Jaros. You've had Lee Desmond beside you in the 4 games. Sam Bone has played 2. Paddy Barrett's played 2. And Ian Birmingham and Shane Griffin have shared the games as well. From that end of the pitch, and probably throw in Jamie Lennon in the 6, it seems to be working quite well. How have you found the position and playing with those players I've mentioned?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. You know, like I said, I played in that position a couple of times in my career, and last year a few more. But I suppose it was a new challenge for me. I haven't played more of an attacking player. I was getting my buzz off, you know, being involved in goals and chances. But now it's the opposite side. It's getting the buzz from keeping clean sheets and big tackles and big moments like that in the game. The defending side of it, and look, the players you've named, we've a great selection there of to pick along the back line, and with Veed in goal since he's come in, you can see he's a real top quality keeper. That you can see there's that trust between the defenders and our goalkeeper, and there's a good connection there between whoever comes in or comes out. You have faith in whoever's in there, and like I said, the more clean sheets we can keep, it gives our attacking players a chance to go and win games for us then.
Just on the goalkeeper, Veet, and I know you would have played with Dundalk for a number of years with a goalkeeper like Gary Rogers, who's so dependable and had, I'm sure when you were playing, whether that be midfield or wing back, you knew you could trust the goalkeeper behind you, and that seems to be the case already with such a young goalkeeper in Veet. He's got fantastic pedigree coming from Liverpool, but he just, and I know he made a small mistake in the match against Drogheda, but he just seems that he already has the calmness and the trust of his teammates, which for someone so young is quite impressive.
Yeah, exactly. You'd never think he was 19 first from looking from the statue of him, and then the way he is as a person, he carries himself so well, and like you said, that mistake, it was mistakes before that led up to it, that goal came from, but the way he reacted to that just shows that he's a real man, and he's a promising future ahead of him.
The start of the season, the supporters on social media are getting quite excited with 10 points from 12, and a couple of the other teams up the top last year have dropped some points, etc. We've beaten Bohemians that finished second. We've got a point away to the champions in Tala. I know the players are very sure it's a 36 game season, and even though it's a good start, I'm sure you'll want to try and build on that and try and keep up this momentum.
Of course, like you said, there's 36 games in the season and we're only 4 in. So like you said, it's a good start, and for us to hit the ground running is important, but it's taken week by week. I know it's a cliche, but that's just how it is. You have to be consistent during this league because it's a long season, so we'll just look now into going up to Oriel Park on the weekend to play Dundalk, and that's next for us.
But on that, inside the camp, I'm sure having won 3 in a row, having kept a couple of clean sheets and a couple of good results, there has to be a confidence growing in the group. Is that fair to say?
Of course, I think you can see the confidence. On match night, it's a big part. You hit the ground running, and then all of a sudden, everyone's the confidence are up, our chests are out. We're ready to go Friday night, and you can see that within us. And training, the standard has been good at training too. And there's that real hunger you can see within the group for winning matches.
In terms of the young players, and going back to your time with Dundalk, the squad would have been, older and, more experienced players that were at the top end of the league. Here, Stephen Allen have put together a really good mix. We saw the other night Dara Burns coming on to score his first league goal, and he got his first start the previous week. There's 6 or 7 academy lads in the squad who signed their first pro contracts. How have you found training with them and playing with them, and maybe your role in helping them to become elite footballers in a pro environment very quickly?
Yeah, well, it was similar to myself. Dara, only 18 now. I was 18 when I first came into the league. So like you said, it's a different role when you're an experienced player. You're trying to help them young lads to express themselves, and you can see he's that type of player. Dara, he wants to get on the ball. He wants to drive at players, get at players, commit them, and create chances and score goals. And he has to keep his head down and keep working hard, because hopefully that'll be the first of many goals. But it's not just there, like you said. There's a lot of young lads that are coming through that'll have their chances, I'm sure, at some stage during the season, because we've a lot of young talent.
Let's focus on the League of Ireland game against Dundalk. It's on Saturday at Oriel Park live on Watch LOI at 6 o'clock. I'm sure when you signed for St. Pat's, when the fixtures came out, you were looking for the name of Dundalk to face your old team. It's the 5th game in, back at your old stadium, Oriel Park. What's your thoughts on the task ahead there?
Yeah, it's an exciting one. Like we've hit the ground. We've hit the ground running, so like we were going up there with a lot of confidence, which is a big thing, and they've not had the start they've wanted. So, of course, there's going to be pressure on them, but at the same time, they're a very good side. The squad they have and the players, so it's going to be a very tough game.
Yeah, they've, as you mentioned, not had the start they wanted, but the squad they have, the players they have, only too well how many good talented players there are in that group. They will click at some stage, so once kick-off comes, you guys know you'll be in for a proper match up there, as Pat's Dundalk has been over the last number of years, whether you've been a Dundalk player and now a Pat's one.
Exactly, it's always been a tough game, Dundalk versus Pat's. There's been a lot of good battles over the years, and going up there, it'll be my first time playing away up there, but it's a challenge I'm looking forward to, and like I said, we're in a good place at the minute. Our confidence is high. It's going to be a busy week. There's a few games next week, and that's what we want. We want as many games as we can, because we're in that mode.
How will you feel walking into Oriel? You mentioned it's something you're looking forward to, but will it be strange for you to be going up there as a St. Pat's player, and it's probably your first time in Oriel since you left?
Yeah, look, I don't know how it'll feel going up there, but I know one thing, once we get going, the whistle goes, that's it, it's full focus anyway, and there'll be only, our mind will be going on, getting the result there, because like I said, that's the way we're going at things this year. It's going out to beat teams and to pick up as many points as we can. So, I don't think there'll be any emotions involved in it.
I know we're in COVID, but you still live in Dundalk, so are you expecting a bit of stick from the locals out on the street if you're out for a walk with the dog or whatever during the week in the build-up?
Yeah, I'll have to. I've only got myself a little mini dachshund. He's only a small little dog, so I don't think he can protect me much if I'm walking around them streets. But no, look, it's a friendly town, so there's no problems there.
John, thanks a million.
Nice one, Jamie. Thanks.